Good evening, good evening. Welcome to HeSpoke Fashion Live. I am your host, Daylon Thomas. And listen, go ahead and get ready for a great show. We're going to talk about something that was a viral moment this week. We're going to give our commentary on it, and you just don't want to miss. Listen, I'm not going to leave you out there like everyone else. I listen to other people who discuss this subject matter. And at HeSpoke Fashion, where we give you fashion, women's fashion, from a man's perspective, I'm going to show you an alternative. That's right. You want to go ahead and tell Lottie Dottie and everybody that we're live, and we're ready to get right down to it. So come on, let's hit it. In the building.
He spoke fashion. I'm telling he spoke not so bad. He spoke fashion. I'm telling he spoke.
All right. Again, welcome to HeSpoke Fashion Live. I am your host, Daylon Thomas. And listen, if to my Facebook audience, I want you to go ahead and like and share. Go ahead and hit us up in the comments. Let us know that you're there. Let us know what state you're watching from. We're so happy to have you join us on tonight. And listen, to my YouTube audience, I want to remind you to go ahead and start to subscribe to our channel and hit that alarm bell so you can be notified every time that it is that we go live. Let's get right down to it, my beautiful butterflies. I am so glad that you took the time to join us on tonight. And listen, I know that you've heard about this viral moment that happened this week with actress comedian Monique. That's right. Monique is back in the media again, back in the news, setting the world ablaze with her comments. And I'm so glad that she talked about this, because I don't know about you. I don't know if you, like myself, traveled over the holiday and you were in airports across America. And if you were, I would say, if you took notice, if you just watched, you saw this different trend that was taking place right before our very eyes. You witnessed what was going on in the airports. And like myself, when I saw it, I was amazed. And I'm always amazed when these types of things that happen. And listen, let me tell you, it was something when I saw that, I said, it's a time and age where you just can't say anything to anybody. But it was from this viral moment that Monique had, where she talked about Black women specifically in the airports wearing bonnets. That's right. We're going to talk tonight about Monique's rant and why most men agree with her rant. And I'm telling you, I don't want to just leave you there. I like to help. And so I want you to stick with us through this journey this entire night, because at the end of the show, I want to show you an alternative. That's right. We want to give you an alternative. So let's get right down to it. Of course, you've probably seen it. And if you have not seen it yet, we want to share with you this viral moment that Monique had. I'm telling you, I was amazed. It tickles me when these things go viral. That's right. There she is right there, Monique. And she took the time to share. Again, you don't want to confront, but you want to carefront. And that's exactly what Monique was doing. If you listen to her tone, she was carefronting. What is carefronting? Again, it is showing that you care and being bold enough to confront. So you are caring and carefront. So let's get right down to it. Let's show that video, and we'll be right back after this.
Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count and too many for me to tap, but I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and their slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves? When did we step away of let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home? Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying go get them in jail.
All right. Again, when someone shared this with me, I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised because, again, I witnessed it firsthand. I witnessed young black women walking through the airport, with the bonnets on. Not only did they have the bonnets on, but some even had pajama pants on, along with slippers. And of course, listen, I understand. You want to be as comfortable as possible when you walk through the airport or when you get on that airplane. You want to be as comfortable as possible, but I don't think it matters as much when you're sitting in coach. Whether or not you have on the slippers and the bonnet, if you're sitting in coach, it's not going to matter too much in terms of comfort. But nevertheless, I wasn't surprised when someone shared this video with me from Monique. I, like her, shared a concern. That's right, a concern. Because I started to think, if I feel a certain way when I see, as a black man, see a beautiful butterfly with a bonnet on, pajama pants and slippers, and I have the type of response that I have, then I'm wondering, what is the response of others? And so you know what I did? I'm a person who likes to watch. As a matter of fact, my mother and I, one of our pastimes when we got tired of her shopping and we would sit down, we would just people watch. We would just people watch and see if we could tell just by the expression of their faces if they were having a good time or if they were with someone that they wanted to be with or not, or just to see what type of fashion that they were wearing. That's right. My mother and I shared that pastime. So people watching was something that I did. And guess what? When I was people watching, I watched the expression on others' faces when they saw our beautiful black queens in disguise with the bonnets and the pajama pants and the slippers. That's right. I called it a disguise. You really didn't want people to know who you are when you wear a bonnet in public places. That's your disguise. And I want to tell you, rid yourself of the disguise and put on the real you. We enjoy more, again, from a man's perspective, we enjoy more when you take off the disguise. But listen, as we started to look and listen and see in the media and even on social media exactly what the people's responses were concerning Monique's rant, when I looked around, I said, wow, I can't believe the type of responses that Monique received. When not so long ago, there was another person who had a similar rant concerning our beautiful butterflies. Let's listen to that rant by this guy. I'm sure you know who this is. This young man. Yes. And he had a particular rant about these furry slippers that he was saying. Before we go to this video, let me caution you. Let me give you a disclaimer. There were a lot of profanity, expletives, and we took the time, because we are a family show, we took the time to bleed out as many as we could, all right? So that's my disclaimer. So try to get in between the beeps and the bleeps to understand what he's saying. And again, I'll give it to you when we come back. So we'll be right back after this. Watch it.
Y'all don't like nobody to tell y'all nothing, but I am here to tell you it ain't nothing, and I repeat, nothing that pisses me off more right here. Yeah, right. Can you see him? Right? Ain't nothing, and I mean nothing, piss me off more right. I just left the mall right now 20 minutes ago, just with a pair of pink ones on. Pink ones. Right here. Them. She had them on. Come. Cuz. Ain't cuz. Not with them on. I know y'all don't like no.
Bruh.
Listen, I'm telling you, there was a bit of comedy there from Rap Replies, but can you understand? Can you understand? Go with me for a moment. I know those slippers are comfortable. I know they are. They look very comfortable. However, as Plies said, don't even see me with those slippers on. You won't see, because again, it's not necessarily that you were wearing the slippers, but it was what was accompanying the slippers, the whole look, the whole perception. And let me tell you about the perception. Perception is reality. It becomes reality to the person who perceives it. And so if someone has a particular perception of you, then that's the reality by which they unfortunately judge you upon. And so if you're looking just like you just got out of bed, rolled over, and just threw on this outfit this disguise to go wherever, then people are going to perceive that perhaps you don't take any pride in yourself. Then that perception becomes the reality that they judge you by. And you don't want people to misjudge you by what you have on. One moment. Remember a few months ago, I think it was, when we talked about first impressions? Just think for a moment. Your potential husband is walking through the airport, and guess what? So are you. And his first impression is with you with the bonnet on, with the slippers on, even with the pajama pants. Wouldn't it be hard, difficult to make another first impression if that was the first impression that you gave off? Perhaps he sees you later on after the flight. Maybe you're staying in the same hotel and he sees you at the restaurant or the lounge or the bar inside the hotel. He approaches you and you say, "Hey, I saw you earlier. We were on the same flight." He says, "Really? Where?" You were in disguise. He doesn't know who you are. And then you tell him what you had on. I'm telling you, from a man's perspective, his opinion of you may just change. First impression. The first impression was she doesn't care enough about herself, because she's in the airport where people can see her. Maybe people that don't know her, of course they are. But she doesn't know when she'll meet those same people again. Oh, I just said something there. You don't know when you'll meet those same people you walked across in the airport, passed by in the airport. You don't know when you'll see them again. And it's very difficult to make a good second impression when the first impression has been horrible. All right, let's look at this. Because I was very concerned about this, and I'm telling you, when I get concerned, I have to talk about it. Is that you? Do you have to talk about it when you get concerned? So first of all, I have to say this. First of all, we have to look at the source, all right? Because I know that The people, they differed in how they responded between the two, between Monique's rant and the rapper Plies. They differed. Some were more receptive to Plies' rant, maybe because the comedic part of it. Maybe that was it. And then they kind of shooed Monique's rant. And so, first of all, let's talk about the source, Monique. All right, so Monique, of course, is an actress, an Oscar winner, a comedian. She has done a lot of things. But lately, Monique has been in the media for a lot of things that I would consider to be negative. All right? So first of all, let's look at this. So first, we have Monique versus who? There was Monique versus Netflix. And you remember this. Monique came out and she said that Netflix had offered her, they had offered her a deal to do a special. As you know, there were several specials, comedic specials that took place over the last couple of years. We saw Dave Chappelle, we've seen Chris Rock, we've seen Amy Schumer, we've seen a lot of people come out and do these comedic specials. But Monique noted that there was a great disparity in what they were offering her as, guess what? An Oscar winner, someone who had done a successful TV show, The Parkers, had done several things. Her resume looks very good. Yet they offered her $500,000 to do her comedic special. And then Monique noted, guess what? That Amy Schumer, popular actress, Amy Schumer here, that she was offered, I think it was 26 times more than Monique was offered. Can you believe that? I mean, Amy Schumer, yes, she's a blockbuster actress. She's a great comedian. I happen to like her. But how can you say that Amy Schumer, who I don't know, maybe she's won an Oscar, I don't know, but versus Monique is worth 26 times more? So while Monique was right in her argument, and I researched this, Netflix tried to have the case dismissed and certain portions of it dismissed, but the judge last year ruled in Monique's favor that the case could go on and be seen. But that was the first thing we heard. And sometimes the way the story is presented, it presents itself, or the powers that be present the story in such a way that it's negative. It's negative on the person who's going about with the lawsuit. And I believe, just like myself, you kind of saw Monique in a bad way, as if she was ungrateful. But when you look at her resume, and when you look at your own resume, don't you say, wait a minute, if I have accomplished this on my resume, then certainly I'm worth the opportunity, and I'm valued enough to get the same salary, if not more, of my colleague that has less or the same on their resume. So that's the first thing. For that particular situation, most of us looked at Monique as she's just making a bad situation worse by coming out and talking about it. That's what we gained from it. And so Monique was positioned to look bad, in a bad light in that situation. And I kind of looked at her in a bad light. I dare you, Monique, you should just be excited, because most of us look at the 500K and we say, hey, I could tell some jokes too. If you're going to give me 500K, I'll tell some jokes too. But when you look at her resume, she's definitely deserving of more of that. So instead of putting the checkbox in Netflix, I'm switching mine and putting it in Monique. All right? So let's look at the next thing that we heard. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, as Shanae, you say, oh my goodness. Now this was an epic battle. That's right. I hated to hear about it. I hated to read about it, but it was Monique versus Oprah. That's right. The darling of the media, the darling of the talk shows, Oprah Winfrey. And you remember, if you don't, I'm going to remind you of exactly what happened then. Well, Monique, and of course, she met Oprah when she was 16 years old. That's right, 16 years old. And she told Oprah, I want to be just like you when I grow up. Wow, just imagine that. And Oprah gave her advice. She says, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to outwork everyone. And guess what Monique did? She did just that. Can't you say, can we agree that Monique did just that? Her career, The Parkers, a successful show, stints on other shows that gave her the opportunity to do The Parkers, her comedy. I mean, her whole body of work. She's worked hard. But guess what happened? When Monique began to share her story, which is a very endearing story of molestation when she was young. And then guess what? Oprah decided, let's talk about it. Then years later, she said, look, I've reached out to your brother and I've invited him on my show, but I wanted to get your approval before I did that. And Monique said, go right ahead. I agree. Go right ahead. Tell the story. But unknowingly to Miss Monique, Oprah had also, and this is all alleged, Oprah had also reached out to her parents. And at the time, Monique stated that she and her parents really weren't on good terms. Now, I agree. If you aren't on good terms with someone, you don't want to give them a platform but then to just take and scandalize your name. You don't want to do that. So I can understand Monique's concern and disapproval. She did not want that to happen, but she wasn't consulted about it. She was only told about her brother. And this is all allegedly. And so that is when this whole argument happened. And I'm telling you, I could understand from both sides. I could understand that Oprah wanted to offer the full story, to get different perspectives. And I can understand Monique's point. If you're not on good terms, I mean, would you do that? Somebody that you knew that had problems with you, would you put them down as someone, a reference for someone to call? I want you to call the person that hates me the most for good points, a recommendation for this position. No, absolutely not. You wouldn't want to do it. And I'm certain that is the reason Monique did not want to do it. Nevertheless, that's what led to the bad blood. But guess what? Aren't you hoping that there's some reconciliation? Listen, shout out to Oprah, shout out to Monique. Listen, why don't you beautiful black butterflies get together, mea culpa, and have a reconciliation? Oh, yeah! I think there's some great things that you could do together. Don't you agree? Come on, put it down in the comments if you agree with me. So lastly, there was another thing that Monique was in. There was another disagreement. That was Monique versus this guy right here, Lee Daniels. That's right, Lee Daniels. You remember Lee Daniels was the director of the movie Precious. And you guessed it, that is the movie that Monique won her Oscar for. Wow, what a great movie that was. And I've, for instance, seeing Monique in that role when I'm used to seeing her as a comedian, as the funny person on The Parkers, and to see her in this role, I'm telling you, she totally transformed who she was and who she is to play this role. And so it was Oscar worthy. It was Oscar worthy. But guess what happened? Monique stated that she was blackballed by Lee Daniels. Could that be true? Could that be true? She did say that she went on to say, that not only was she blackballed by him, but he recanted after he told her, watch this, that she was going to have the role of Cookie Lyons on the Empire. I don't know. Taraji, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know if after seeing
Bruh.
Taraji in this role, I don't know if I could see. Nah, I know I can't. I cannot see. I can't see Monique in this role. But yet, she said that Lee Daniels promised her that role as well. Get this, as the role that Oprah played in the movie The Butler, another Lee Daniels film. Wow. Imagine that. Not only did you not get the role, but it went to someone that you had beef with. All right. So again, this is kind of where we've seen Monique kind of in the media and how these things are playing out. So then when Monique comes in love, I think it was in love, just like I'm coming to you in love. When Monique came on the scene and started to converse about the wearing of the bonnets. See, because we've already had this impression of her. I want to introduce a term to you. This term, and you've probably heard it before. And sometimes when you hear someone and they're speaking in love, there's this term that I want to introduce called nice nasty. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard of someone who is nice nasty? Well, what's defined? That's right. Nice nasty. It's someone that overly they want to insinuate that they are nice, and what they're telling you is something that is good for you. But underneath that, there's a bit of nastiness. There is a bit of nastiness. Let me read because I want to give you the appropriate definition for nice nasty. Nice nasty. That's right. It is a person who acts all nice and perfect on the outside, but really harbors some horrible personal traits and habits. Nice nasty. And sometimes they can be telling you the nicest things, but you're kind of reading their spirit, and underneath, it's nasty. And I think that although Monique was speaking in love, because she's been known to be this nice nasty, some people received it the wrong way. Sometimes it's very difficult to receive things from someone who you think is nice nasty. So let's move on. So when we look at this, all right, because I have some props. Let me get them.
Bruh.
Let me see, can I get that turned the right way? All right. Now, when I look at this, I mean, I can see why perhaps, let me go a step further. Now, when I put this on, I feel like the cafeteria lady
Hey, bro.
in elementary school. I mean,
Oh my God!
come on, tell the truth. Tell the truth. I mean, I don't know. This doesn't feel all that comfortable to me. I have to take this off. I have to take this off. But I truly, really don't understand. I don't understand why it is this would be something anyone would want to wear outside of the home. Let's go to some comments, because there were those who did support what Monique was saying. This comment says, I agree with Monique as well. My mother and grandmother taught my sisters, cousins, and myself to never go out in public with a headscarf and slippers on. Now, did your grandmother teach you that as well? My grandmother told us that she and her mother looked that way working in the plantation. Wow. Is that where we're going? back to in our fashion sense? We want to take it back to the plantation? I think not. I disagree. All right, let's go on. Let's get to another comment. Now, this is one that I have to take a step back. It says, bottom line is leave Black women alone, period. The difference is more folks chimed in on Monique because her reach is broader than his. And this is in comparison to the rapper Plies. All right. But it says, leave Black women alone, period. Now, let me ask you a question. And you help me in the comments. Is it true? Is it true that no one can comment concerning Black women's fashion, concerning anything that Black women do in public? No one can comment, just leave you alone? I would like to caution you if that's something that you believe, because we all need help sometimes. We all need advice. We all need guidance. If you agree with me, come on, give me some likes in the chat. Give me some likes in the chat. Come on. Let's go to the next one. I say to each their own. I don't get paid to mind other folks' business. If you don't wear a bonnet in public, fine. If you do, fine. They like it, I love it. Let's stop policing what other people choose to do with themselves. Now, I can tell you that's one of the statements that I like to make, that I like it. If they like it, I love it. But there are situations when you see a person or a group of people going down the wrong road, you have to say something. And I agree with Monique. This was an opportunity to say something. Let's go on to the next comment. And this is from reference to that last comment. It says, move this comment to the top. I personally do not wear bonnets or slippers in public. But if I decide one day that I am, it's none of anyone's business. Conversely, what other women wear in public does not affect me in any way. Not my money, not my mood, not my appearance, nothing. So why would I care? Quick, easy answer is I don't care at all. Hashtag everyone should mind their own business. Now I don't know if I would take that comment because this person already has told you they don't care. The reason why I'm talking to you about this is because HeSpoke Fashion cares. That's right. That could be a great infomercial. HeSpoke Fashion cares. We care. We care about our beautiful butterflies because we know that when you look good, you feel good. It boosts your self-esteem. Yes, if you start with wearing a beautiful outfit, a wonderful fashion choice, you're going to feel good. And when you feel good, it's infectious. You affect others. It's infectious. You infect others when you feel good. You know, when you come in a room and you feel good, you light up the room. It's that energy that permeates through everyone else because you lit up the room. But I'm going to tell you, you're not lighting up the room with this on. Believe me, you're not. Let's go to another one. All right. This is kind of for Monique. It says, people killing me focusing on half of her statement. She talked about the idea of trifling broads wearing PJs and house shoes as well. It isn't sanitary to wear outside something you have sweated in, laid up in the house in, not washed your behind in, and decided to go to the airport. Because you can't believe that, right? You don't believe someone showered and then put back on their pajamas. You can't be that busy. How you show up in the world says a lot about you. I see bras and PJs, house shoes and bonnets. I think that person did not wash her period. It's the lazy, trifling behavior that bothers me. That's right. Someone thinks that it's trifling. for you to get up out of bed, or perhaps maybe even shower and put back on your pajamas and then go out to the airport or wherever it is that you're going. That's right. Let's move on. All right, so let's get this. This person says the bonnet is a metaphor for a certain behavior. Bonnet. Put down in the comments what you think the metaphor is. Because I don't want to offend anyone by saying ghetto. I don't want to say bonnet equals ghetto. 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 Wearing a bonnet and pajamas and slippers out. Bonnet is a metaphor for something. You got it. You put it in the comments. We want to talk about that. All right. Let's look at this. I think we have another comment. Let me put Sister Bonnet away. All right. Does this go for do-rags and wave caps for men? If you're gathering up folks, then black men need to be scooped up too. All right. I hear you. I hear you. All right. Now, just as much as you complain, when you see, because we still see them unfortunately, or you saw the young men, pants sagging, greasy do-rag on their head. I mean, maybe not greasy, just dirty, dingy looking on their head. And you complained about it. You did, and you still do. When you see that do-rag, well, guess what? Now it's your turn. That's right. It's your turn. We're saying, just like you didn't want to see this, we don't want to see the bonnet. Can I make it any clearer? We don't want to see it. Let's go to something else. We got one more comment. Let's bring it on. Thank you. People are being willfully obtuse to the truth. And the truth is, our standards have lowered. Your appearance is a representation, and it speaks volumes. This isn't about class or financial situation. It's about proper social decorum. All right? So it's not about how much you can afford, because as we've seen, even on social media, people that can't afford to have their hair done, nails done, everything did, wearing a bonnet. But social decorum, how it is that you conduct yourself, your appearance in public places. There should be a bit of decorum wherever you go. Let me ask you a question. Have we lowered our standards? Come on, Black America, talk to me, talk back to me. Holler back at your boy. Have we lowered our standards in terms of fashion? Have we lowered it? Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to uplift our standards when it comes to fashion. That's right. That's what we're here to do. Let's go to some pictures here. Now here's a sister wearing this bonnet, and I think on the comment for her that said, "Who's going to check me?" Well, I would say nobody's checking for you. Not with that bonnet on. Come on, let's go to the next one. Now you know that they Photoshop this. Because that is the wonderful, beautiful butterfly, Mary J. Blige. It says them. Why y'all got them? I didn't want to read that. Why y'all got them bonnets on in public and me clearing her throat? Because this hair has better places to be and better people to see. Y'all are not worthy. So I guess that they're insinuating that the bonnet is to cover the wonderful hairdo that's underneath. As if we're supposed to believe that with that bonnet out in public. Do you think we believe you? No, we don't believe you. Gentlemen, fellas, what my fellas at? Do we believe that when we see someone out in public with a bonnet, pajamas on, and slippers? We don't believe you. No. Okay. We don't believe you. And please don't do that to the Queen, Mary J. Blige. Don't do that. She's killing the game in the building. All right, let's go to the next one. Now, this is, I would call a PSA that we want to make tonight. All right? This is only to be worn in your house, not the mall, school, or etc. That's our PSA for tonight. All right? Let's move on. And look, I don't care how fashionable, how you try to dress it up. I mean, look, she has the bonnet, but she has the lovely hoop earrings on. I'm telling you, the big earrings are a thing. I like the big earrings. But you just can't dress this up. She has, look, the lashes on, beautiful. But she has the bonnet on. And I hope that she was just having fun with it and putting this bonnet on. But let's leave the bonnet on only when you're at home. All right? So we've come now to the part of the show that I really want to get to, because I want to offer you an alternative. Now I've spoken with a cosmetologist, an expert, and they were able to share with me the reason why it is that you will probably have on the bonnet, right? The bonnet. Okay. First of all, it is to keep the moisture, the oil in your hair, right? So satin and silk are two fabrics in particular that they tell you when you go to bed at night. Try to have a silk or satin pillowcase. That's right. To make sure it keeps the oil, the nutrients in your hair, so your hair won't fall out. So I can understand the desire to keep, especially when the bonnet is of satin material, to keep it on. Put the young lady that we just saw back on. Yes, you can tell this bonnet, the material looks satin, and it keeps your hair, the oil and the moisturizers in place. It doesn't pull it out, soak that oil out of your hair. So I can understand when you're at home. Right. When you're at home and you want to lie down, you want to keep the bonnet on when you're at home. And I can understand that. But I want to give you an alternative. Now, do you guys know of the show, the franchise of shows, The Real Housewives? And The Real Housewives of Potomac in particular. There is a young lady by the name of Robin Dixon. That's right, the lovely Robin Dixon. That's her right there. Looks fabulous in that photo. That's a great job on that one, AB. And so Robin Dixon, she came out with her own line called Embellished. Embellished is the line that she came out with. And I'm telling you, this line has t-shirts, and guess what? It has hats. That's right. Lovely hats, if I might say. And these hats in particular have something that I'm telling you that you want to have when you go out in public. For all of my bonnet wearers that want to go out in public, this is what this hat has. The interior, watch this, of this hat is satin. Guess what, ladies, my beautiful butterflies? You're going to be able to keep your hair moisturized while wearing this hat. No more excuses. This is your alternative. You can get this hat. That's right. AB is giving the applause up. Hey. This hat, I'm telling you, Embellished is in the building. That's right. I want you to go out and go to this website, Embellish Shop, and get you one of these hats. Let's show the lookbook of these fabulous hats. This is her girlfriend on the show, the one and only Giselle Bryant, and she's wearing this lovely embellished hat. I'm telling you, I like the design, I love the style, and I'm telling you, if you can wear something that is going to protect your hair, why wouldn't you? No more bonnets, please. I know you're saying it's my bonnet and I'll cry if I want. No, I'm just kidding. You don't want to wear the bonnet outside. This is the alternative. It's from Embellish. It's from Robin Dixon. And I am a fan of Robin Dixon, and I'm endorsing her right here on the show. That's right. You heard it here first on HeSpoke Fashion Live. Let's go to the next photo. Yes. I'm telling you, this hat is for everyone. It doesn't matter what type of hair you have. You all need to have where the oil, the natural oil stays in your hair. You don't want to wear things that soak up the natural oils in your hair. And cotton again, AB said cotton is something that if you have these cotton hats on, you have to be a little bit woeful of, because it's going to soak up the oil in your hair. That's right. Let's go on to the next one. Yes. And look, I'm telling you, I know Robin Dixon is a Delta, and she has this Delta Sigma Theta hat on. That's one of her embellished hats. I'm telling you, it looks wonderful. You can get you a hat that's going to not damage your hair, and you're going to look great in it. Let's go to this last photo. I'm telling you, I am a fan of the camo look, and this hat is a camo hat. I'm telling you, it can go with anything. And again, protecting your hair. Go to the Embellish website. I'm telling you, when she announced this on the show, when she announced her line, Embellish, on the show, do you not know that she ran out of inventory? Everyone went to the website and bought up her stock. But I'm hoping that if you click on this link, this Embellish link, that you're able to find a hat that fits your style. Now, we've talked about this viral moment brought to us by Monique, the comedian, about these bonnets. And I want to share with you just why you should tune in to HeSpoke Fashion Live. HeSpoke Fashion Live, again, is women's fashion from a man's perspective. And we try to keep you abreast of all of the fashion trends and things that you want to buy in order to help better your image, to help boast your self-esteem. Have you heard the slogan, "Image is everything"? I'm sure that you have. And I'm sure that you know that in this age that we're in now, where social media is ever present and everything is on social media, that image has even grown in its importance. And so it is our goal to help you, to consult with you regarding your image, to bolster your self-esteem. And I know you're saying, what do men know about women's fashion? And I want to caution you, the next time that you put on some Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Hugo Boss, or any of the other brands, to research and see who the designer is. I guarantee you'll come back and say, maybe men do know something about fashion. That's right. So continue to support this platform. We have some great things in store for you coming up. I'm telling you, I can't wait. I am so excited about the next chapter for HeSpoke Fashion. Listen, I'm so glad that you joined in with us tonight. I have enjoyed your company. I have enjoyed this conversation. Listen, remember to like and share. If you haven't liked the show by now, shame on you. Go ahead and like the show and share it with someone. They can watch it on the review, because that's all we have for you on tonight. We have enjoyed your company, and we can't wait to see you again on next week. That's all I have for tonight. What are your fashion choices for the weekend? Come on. I know you have some. Get prepared for next week. Most of us are returning to the office soon. And I want to help you to make sure that after this year of the pandemic, year and some months now, that you are reinventing yourself in the workplace. They're not going to know who the new you is when you walk into the office, if I have anything to do with it. Thank you for joining us. That's all we have. And good night. In the building.